Hi, it's Bobby from Lions, Tigers, and Bears, and we're super excited that you're joining us here today for our 10:30 live. So just so you know, if you're new, we are doing our lives Wednesday through Saturdays at 10:30. And every day so far we are featuring a different animal, and today we're going to share our grizzly bear with you. So first off, I want to just tell you a couple things. I want to make sure everybody knows what we do here at Lions, Tigers, and Bears. We, of course, rescue animals. We are an education center. We work all over the country, have done some international work. We, of course, work with first responders, people who have gotten in over their head and have these animals as a pet, or a lot of confiscations. Anywhere where these animals don't belong, we can help get them to sanctuary. So couple things. We have launched what we are calling our Help Us Hang in There campaign. It's super easy to get to this. You can just go to our website, www.lionstigersandbears.org, or you could text 71777 and just text LTB for Lions, Tigers, and Bears. So text LTB to 7177. So again, we're super happy that you're here. We're happy we have sunshine finally. It's a gorgeous day. And want to introduce you to Rebecca here. Rebecca did, like those of you that are following, did Hank the other day. And she joined our team as a volunteer in 2017. Her animal knowledge and passion for education quickly landed her a full-time position here at Lions, Tigers, and Bears as one of our lead keepers in January of 2018. Rebecca assists with all our medical procedures that are done here on the site. She manages our gift shop and helps to oversee all the medications that are given daily to the animals. So Rebecca is a huge valuable asset to our team, and I think you're going to really enjoy your visit today with her and Cherry Bomb.
All right, first want to point out, I don't know if you guys saw the shirt that Bobby was wearing. We also have it hanging here on our fence. We call it our bling shirt. We have a number of different animals too. If you go on our website, if you go on our website and click shop, you'll be able to shop these amazing items, as well as some other things like sippy cups, hats, magnets, and that's one way that you guys can continue to support us from home. Again, we are solely run on donations, people coming out for visits, and since right now we don't have visits because of the shutdown, we're still needing to rely on you guys. So go shop and enjoy your visit today with Cherry. Cherry is our grizzly bear. She was born, or we also call her Cherry Bomb, or Cherry for short. She was born at the Cherokee Bear Park Zoo in North Carolina. We do have a little poster of it so you guys can see some pictures of what life was like for her at the Cherokee Bear Park Zoo. She was rescued from there and with her brother Albert. Albert did pass last year. Now the Cherokee Bear Park Zoo is still open today. It's known for their bear pits, which you can see in the picture. It's just a concrete pit for people to look down and see the bears. And you can even pay extra money to throw down some food to the bears. The bears will go up on their hind legs to try and get as much food as possible. And they do fight over the food as well. And when those bears have cubs, those cubs are then pulled and used as cub petting props. And now we'll see Bobby, you'll be giving Cherry access into her habitat. We did put some extra enrichment in there for her. Some cardboard boxes that have different scents, as well as some fruits and veggies sprinkled throughout the habitat. See what she goes for first. She seems to really like the box. I put some perfume on that. The other box has some catnip in it. Bears do still like catnip and other herbs and spices, but she's really loving that perfume. I also might have put a couple of extra treats in there for her. Oh, she's tearing it apart. Now going back to the Cherokee Bear Park Zoo, just want to say there's no legitimate facility that does allow cub petting since it has such negative impacts on those animals. And for one, a baby animal is going to be active and wanting to play and not sit still for people to want to take their pictures. So cubs are often drugged to keep them more docile. Also, a cub can only be used to a certain size. So how do you keep a baby animal from gaining weight? They don't feed it properly. And because of this malnourishment, they can have a number of developmental issues that can have a lifetime impact. And not only are they underfed, but by being taken away from their mother and bottle fed by visitors, when they do get to eat, they're not receiving the proper nutrition from their mother. Where are people watching from out there? Let's see. Any fun states from far off? And also, if you have any questions, please post them. So we do have a question from Susan. How did she do when Albert passed? She was definitely a little bit more not as active, because Cherry and Albert did play around together and play in their pool as well. But you can see she's up and about, and she seems to be doing really great now. We got Donna from Vancouver, Canada. That's awesome. Bonita. Joanna from Bonita. A couple of different you guys watching. And if you are watching from home and if there are any kids out there, we want to put out a little challenge for all the kids while you're watching this virtual visit with Cherry today as she's playing with all of her enrichment. You can go at home, do a little drawing for us, doing a challenge. If you draw something, you can use watercolor, paint, finger painting, really have fun with it. And if you send that drawing in by mail or email, you can mail it in to our address is 24402 Martin Way in Alpine, California. Zip code is 91901. Or you can email in your picture of your drawing to volunteers@lionstigersandbears.org. Some of our teacher volunteers will be the judge, and the best one will get a little prize. So make sure that while you're watching, getting a good look at Cherry Bomb, you're drawing her, painting her, and then maybe win that prize. What is in the pink box? So that is catnip. She is really loving the catnip. Even though it says catnip, bears, again, do love catnip. Yeah, she seems to really love that. And another thing about Cherry and Albert, since I did talk about cub petting, they were used as cub petting props. And for Albert, this malnutrition and confinement as a cub actually led him to have major mobility issues. When Albert and Cherry were rescued by Bobby in 2014, Albert could hardly use his back legs. But by us spreading the fruits and veggies out in his habitat, getting him up and moving and walking around, as well as him and Cherry playing in the pool, maybe a little bit of hydrotherapy there, by the end of his life, he was able to walk around his entire habitat and really play with his sister, but he did have a little extra swagger to his walk, as we like to say. Yeah, Albert was definitely a favorite amongst visitors, staff, and volunteers. Will she be getting a new buddy? I mean, it's possible. Definitely possible. How old is she? So Cherry is 14 years old. She was born in 2006. We last weighed her at 340 pounds, which which is about average for a female grizzly. Their weight can greatly vary depending on the time of year, especially out in the wild with bulking up to go into hibernation. And then after Cherry was used as a cub petting prop, she was tossed around from roadside zoo to roadside zoo in North and South Carolina. And at one of the zoos, she was even declawed, so she isn't able to use her claws to really dig into these boxes. And if you remember, if you watched Hank's virtual visit last Saturday, you might remember that when an animal's declawed, it's not just removing that fingernail, but is an amputation up to that first joint, which makes them more susceptible to arthritis and developing mobility issues. What kind of questions do we have out there? When did Albert pass? So Albert passed in August 23rd of last year. We don't really have a 100% definitive cause, but it was likely cancer with a secondary infection that was centered in his nose. Does she know her name? Most animals here do respond to their name. Oh yeah, I think Cherry knows her name. And then Cherry was finally ended up in private ownership in North Carolina when a couple decided to take her in. This couple owned 2 other bears, Teddy and Velu, which are just in the next habitat. They're really excited watching Cherry open up these boxes. And I think you guys met Teddy and Velu on one of our virtual visits last week, so make sure you check out that video. And the couple did also rescue Cherry's brother, Albert, as well. And this couple did have a love for bears, but like what so often happens with private ownership, they couldn't financially keep up with the care for these 4 bears. And you know it costs about $10,000 a year to take care of 1 bear or 1 big cat for a year. And that's not including any kind of unexpected medical care. So that's why we are relying so heavily. We rely on donations, people coming out for visits, which unfortunately you guys can't right now, but hopefully we'll be able to open up sooner rather than later and have you guys come out here and visit with Cherry. During our visits with the bears, they get some peanut butter and jelly squares during our visit. So adults over the age of 18, you can pay to feed Cherry, again with a 4-foot fork through the fence, and feed her some PB&J once we're opening. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Mike. So the couple that owned Cherry, Teddy and Velu and Albert did contact Bobby, and Bobby was able to build these habitats for the bears, as well as drive across the country to North Carolina to bring them here to their forever home in lions, tigers, and bears. Do you ever give her honey? Sometimes she can get honey mixed in with her food. She does get a dog food with maybe some salmon, tilapia. One of her favorites is hot dogs, though. We don't want to feed her too many of those. Some hot dogs might be hidden in that box right there, too, which is why she's really excited about it. Any other questions that we got out there about Cherry or about lions, tigers, and bears as we're watching her just destroy these cardboard boxes? Cherry is a grizzly bear. A grizzly bear is a type of brown bear, but not all brown bears are grizzly bears. They lived in much of western North America, but now they are more so in Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Washington State, Alaska, and Canada. You can see her little tail right there. Bears do have tails. Again, Cherry's really loving her enrichment with some different scents. Just gets her excited, gets her stimulated before, right as we put the boxes in the habitat, she was watching us and just getting so excited for all of this extra enrichment. And I'm guessing later on today, those boxes are gonna be all shredded up and put into that pool that she has there. Bobby did toss some apples into the pool so she can go bobbing for apples. It is a little bit warm today, so she might go in and start splashing around for us. She's got an avocado right there. Hi, Heather. Cherry says hi too. Yeah, grizzly bears are really great swimmers, actually. They love to be in the water, and Cherry does really splash around in there and roll around in the water. It's one of her favorite activities. Hi, Ellen. Again, as you're watching with us today, if there are any kids, we are doing a challenge, a drawing challenge. You can either draw, paint, finger paint, watercolor, whatever medium that you guys like to choose. Draw a picture of Cherry during our visit or after, and you can mail that drawing to us at our address at 24402 Martin Way, Alpine, California. Zip code is 91901. Or you can email that drawing to volunteer without an S at lionstigersandbears.org. And one of our volunteer teachers will be a judge, and the winner will get a nice little prize. So we got a question from Donna. How old do grizzlies live in captivity in the wild? So their lifespan in captivity, they can easily live well into their 30s. Most out in the wild don't really reach 25 years old. So Cherry's coming up to the fence to say hi to all of you guys today. Wondering if we're gonna be feeding her any peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Again, if you book a visit with us after we're all open, you can book even a behind the scenes with the bears and spend some extra time with Cherry, or a behind the scenes with the bears and cats, or just cats. But feeding Cherry on the visits, we do some peanut butter and jelly squares, which she just absolutely loves. Just a little extra excitement for her, some extra fun things. And you can see Teddy and Velu in the background. They're really excited about all of us being here today. And we do have some fish to throw out for Cherry. See if I can get a small little bit to throw out, see if she wants to eat some fish along with her fruits and vegetables that were scattered out there. Oh, sorry, Cherry. You gotta turn around, girl. Do the animals notice there aren't visitors these days? I think that they do. Whenever they see the keepers, or whenever we're doing the virtual visits, they're always extra excited about it. And they always do love visitors coming around and feeding them on the visits. So I think they do miss some people. but they're getting some extra love by keepers and whenever we're doing these virtual visits with you guys. So it looks like Cherry is really liking some of that tuna fish. Maybe we also might have some salmon mixed in. Grizzly bears are pretty solitary out in the wild, but they do come together for mating, as well as in Alaska you see on all of the National Geographic shows, a lot of grizzly bears can all come together for those salmon runs. Since there's such a plethora of fish, they all kind of tolerate each other for the time being so they can all get some food. How often do we do physical exams on her? So for a full physical exam, bears and our cats, we do sedate them. So we don't do that unless there's any kind of major issue that we're seeing or anything that we're really concerned about, then we would sedate them, because sedation does come with a lot of risks. But every single day the keepers are taking a good once over, making sure that she's eating everything, that she doesn't have any new injuries or anything, and Cherry seems to be a pretty healthy girl. But she's really loving that fish. Oh, are you going to take it into the water? Hi, Mary. Thanks for watching with us today. Oh, she's your favorite, April? Yeah, she's definitely a favorite. I think bears, they have such personalities, and when they really look at you, it's kind of like a dog looking at you. They seem to be really trying to understand what you're trying to do. They've got more going on. They're pretty smart animals. Thanks, Ashley, for joining us today. I don't know if you guys can hear her, but Cherry's definitely doing a lot of lip smacking there while she's eating her fish. Bears make all of the food just sound so delicious. Donna, that's not squid. It is some fish cut up. Some kind of fish, maybe some salmon. She's kind of looking at the water. Maybe she'll go and play in it at some point later on today, since it is a warmer day out here. So when you guys come on visits, maybe you'll be able to see her splashing around in her pool when we reopen. How do you keep her pool so clean? That's what Lisa asked. So we do have a hose that pumps out the pool to water the grass so that we can keep the grass here, because sometimes she does like to munch on the grass. Her and Albert really did like to chew on the grass, as well as it's great for keeping the ground wet just in case there were to be any fires nearby. So we pump out the water to water her habitat, and then scrub it down really well and fill it right back up, all within about 20 minutes. well, of course, while Cherry is locked in her bedrooms, we are a no-contact facility. So whenever we need to clean the habitat or clean the bedrooms, the animals are locked in another area. Does she ever show any aggression towards the keepers outside the fence? I haven't had any kind of aggression towards Cherry. She's really a loving, sweet bear. Any other questions we got? So I hope you guys enjoyed joining us today on our virtual visit with Cherry. And we have over here displayed, if you donate $100 or more, you will be entered into winning a swag bag. So again, like Bobby mentioned earlier, you can donate on our website at www.lionstigersandbears.org, or you can text LTB to 71777 and enter for a chance to win this swag bag that also comes with a large picture of an animal of your choosing. As well as remember the shirt that Bobby was wearing. If you go online at our website, you'll be able to do a little bit of shopping and maybe even shop for a bling shirt, our bling bear shirt that Bobby's fashioning for us today. And that all helps these animals here. Again, we're run solely on donations, people coming out for, or we're relying on you guys to help us hang in there during this time. All right, bye guys. Hope you guys enjoyed our visit. We'll see you tomorrow at 10:30 for our next visit.